Gate event, womb weaving, gathering, circle, temple space. We are gathering today just to tune in to all the beautiful energetics that are rising within our system, and to tap into why we gather for the Lion's Gate, why it's important, how this connects to feminine wisdom, what it is that's coming through us, through our Blood Mysteries Temple, and through each one of you as we approach this tremendous birthing portal that is the Lion's Gate. Right? And the role of the sacred technology of the womb in modern day times, what that looks like and why it's so important. Right? And we'll be exploring a little bit more about what to expect for our 5-day online free mythic journey, Awakening Grail Keeper and Grail Guardian as one. So the first thing I want to do is just bow to each one of you that are here live, weaving your beautiful hearts and wombs and souls with ours, remembering the magic of being a feminine being embodied on the planet right now. So thank you for making the time to be present. Bowing to all of the sisters that will be joining through the ethers, through the replay of this. For the feminine way is one of community. We do not do this alone. We do this together. So it is so important. The presence of each one of you in the circle is essential. And each one of you holds a fractal of magic, of wisdom, of power that is integral to the whole and to the unfolding that we are all part of. So just bowing to that core wisdom, medicine, and gift that each one of you holds, that you have brought here to weave in unity with us. And I am deeply aware that one of the gifts of the Blood Mysteries is that with Daisy, we were kind of giggling about this earlier, is that once we have tuned in so deeply to our embodied feminine wisdom, to our own inner cycles, they naturally begin to tune organically with the larger cycles of the moon, of the sun, of the constellations, of the galactic transit. And we did not plan this to be on the new moon, and yet here we are on a new moon in Leo, with the sun in Leo, right after the Mayan New Year, the galactic cycle beginning, approaching Llamas. Like, this is like a potent node. We are entering into very powerful times, right? And one of the gifts of these feminine mysteries is that we fall into this flow that is no longer in the mind. We're not mapping out in the calendar the events, the astrological conjunctions, unless you're an astrologer, right? But without having to put our mind and our effort into those events, organically we flow into the stream of life that places us exactly in the most divinely orchestrated moments. So I am honoring that we are gathering today right after, again, July 26th, we began a new galactic cycle, right? We are opening this portal of the Lion's Gate that is a season of time. It's not just one day that will peak on the 8/8/8, right? And then close that following week. I am honoring this place. We're in the Northern Hemisphere. We are approaching Llamas, the midpoint of summer. And for our Southern Hemisphere sisters, for you are just as crucial to this balance and weaving. You are also approaching Imbolc and this fire festival, the midpoint, right, of winter. So, feeling, in our feeling, I want us to feel that balance. So much of what is coming through at this moment is this place of balance, of balancing the feminine and the masculine, the light and the shadow, the receptive, the active, the moon and the sun, right? And just honoring how right here in this circle, we have sisters anchoring in the midpoint of summer, the peak of that energy, right? And we have sisters anchoring the midpoint of winter. So feeling wherever you are on your place on this beautiful planet and how you are anchoring that for the whole, this moment of fire on the planet, this fire festival. And then we have again the new moon in Leo and the sun in Leo at the same time. So I am aware of this potent energy of the lion, lioness and lion here with her fierce heart, fierce womb, devoted, passionate love, right? So just feeling into that frequency and how balanced it is at this point, right? And the common thread that we're having right now of the Lion's Gate at its essence in the feminine mysteries is a birthing portal. It is this point where galactically we are aligning, right, with Sirius, which many call our spiritual sun. And who is to the Egyptians the embodiment of Isis, again, this feminine magic. We are aligning with the central sun, and we are transiting to align with the galactic center, right? There is this portal opening where this huge influx of light codes and new possibilities, blueprints, new consciousness that are becoming available for us. Just as the new moon and our moon time are times where we become an empty vessel to receive the new seeds that are arising. So I am excited to be with you right now in this moment, tuning in this potent moment to this place we are of receiving new seeds for our lunar cycle and beginning to intuit and feel the seeds that are arising for this birthing portal collectively as a humanity and especially as feminine beings. Right? So this is all that is weaving in. So part of how we work in the feminine, specifically in the blood mysteries, is that at this part of the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, we come to the beginning where we are the empty vessel, where we touch into the deep, rich darkness of the womb, the deep, rich darkness of the void, knowing that our womb is held by Mama Gaia's womb, is held by the galactic womb, by the cosmic womb, by the primordial womb, all connected as one. And as we see, we can touch into that darkness and receive from far deeper places than just our soul unfolding, where all of these seeds become aligned and are amplifying together for the benefit of one and all. And this is another piece of the blood mysteries that I wish to share with you. This there is a place when we're seeding where our soul essence seed that is arising for us as a soul individual, right, for our own unfolding, is aligned and held and part of the planetary seed that is being held and nurtured and birthed. And that is part of the galactic blueprint, so on and so forth. And when we can feel that within our bodies and align that, then so much more resources become available for our own unfolding because we are in benefit of the whole. We're tapping into that central code of communion where what is good for one is good for all. So all of this becomes available for us. So I'm inviting us to begin to weave these aspects within our being, right? To feeling into in this moment of new beginning within our own being as women connected to the moon, right? This place of follow darkness where we are opening to receive the new seeds for our personal lunar cycle, right? And feeling how that connects in with the larger cycles of where we are on our planetary journey with the seasons and with this aligning and with the Lion's Gate where potent new codes of consciousness are beaming through the dimensions to find rich soil to seed and plant and grow in. Yeah. So let us dive in together, right? So I'm going to invite us to close our eyes for a moment. I invite you to find your seat, feeling this place where your sits bones, your yoni, your perineum meet matter, mother in form, feeling that sense of firmness and support, unyielding support, a support that rises up your spine, allowing you to gently lean back just a fraction, knowing that it's okay, that you're held. Mother's hand is at behind your heart, holding you here. And as we breathe, beginning to gather all of our awareness, all of our consciousness at our brow, feeling, sensing, or knowing a smooth river stone here, this magnetic stone that begins to pull every aspect of your consciousness to this one place. So scanning back to any parts that may be lingering in the past, drawing them forward to this one point at your brow, allowing the stone to magnetically pull towards it any parts of you that are meandering in the future, concerned of what will come next or things you have to do just for this time out of time in the sacred circle, bringing yourself fully here. And scanning any part of you, any tendrils of awareness that may be in any way entangled with something that is unfolding in your present environment. If there is noise or other people, just bringing yourself fully here now. And over your next breath, allowing this cohesion of your awareness and consciousness, feeling the density of the stone now as all of you is here focalized, allowing that stone to drop down the midline of your body like a rock descending through water. Remembering this place where descending into your being is easy and effortless, where all you have to do is surrender to gravity. So surrendering your consciousness to gravity, allowing yourself to be pulled down through your throat and chest, the stone and your awareness descending into your abdominal cavity, entering the vastness of your pelvic bowl, and sitting, resting at the very bottom of your being, at your foundation, your perineum, finding yourself in your own rich depths, the depth of your body, the depth of your being, anchoring your awareness here, noticing how it feels to be here instead of the mind, what it feels to have all of your consciousness at your foundations, in the rich darkness of your being. And now beginning the process of emptying out, we intuitively understand that we cannot receive if we are full. Emptiness is necessary. So if it is in your joy, seeing or visualizing or knowing a plug at the bottom of your being, like the plug in a bathtub, and giving it a little tug, or however it is organic for you to empty. So giving that plug a little tug, and with the ease of water exiting the bathtub, flowing down the drain, allowing everything within you to simply flow down and out. Remembering that it's okay to let it all go. No true treasure is ever lost. But for this moment, so that we may truly receive, empty, empty, empty. Emptying your physical vessel of all the tensions, constraints, emotions, and fears that may be held by your tissues and cells. Maybe there's been lineage healing happening, unwinding the strands of DNA, allowing release even from here. feeling how Mother's gravity, our planet's gravity, is a facet of Mother's love, magnetically pulling all back to her heart womb, calling everything home. So in love, just surrendering to that pull, finding the ease, the grace, the relief of letting it all go to Mother. Finding the relief of emptiness within you, of not having to hold any of it. Exhaling. With every breath, creating more space within you. Surrendering to the part of you that knows how to empty, that knows how to soften and let go. That part of you that revels in the space and the stillness, that allows for your full presence to be here. Emptying out into your field, all your subtle bodies, exhaling, releasing, emptying the emotions, emptying the mind, even emptying the spirit, becoming that empty, clear vessel of the Mother that you are. From the subatomic to the furthest reaches of your field, empty, empty, empty. Noticing how the frequency shifts in emptiness and stillness. How we feel more of who we are here. And from this empty, still place, allowing yourself now to gently drop once again to your root, unfurling your central taproot, allowing her to descend into Mama Gaia's body through her rich layers, feeling the frequency there, be it a full summer or be it winter. You are being drawn by her magnetic love to her core, her heart womb, at the very center of her, calling you home to this natural place of anchoring. So feeling this taproot both penetrating in your desire to be one, to be held, to be anchored in Mother, while being pulled by her desire to have you in her, to be one ever more intimately, to bring you home to this natural place of anchoring. So feeling this taproot descending deeper and deeper. You may be aware of your central taproot branching out, of all the ways in which you weave into the tapestry of life, connecting to plants and trees and flowers and bees, connecting to sisters and ancestors and descendants, to the beings between the veils, the elementals, all the ways in which you are woven into Gaia's body of life. And still your central taproot descends until you feel yourself being welcomed into her molten core, while your central taproot weaves, wraps around a beautiful crystal, fully anchoring here, feeling the connection between this place deep within Mama Gaia's core and your own core. You may give your root a little tug if that helps you feel that physical connection. Remembering this as your organic place of anchoring. This is your blueprint, your design. This is your natural place of resting, because you are empty. Allowing yourself now to receive here from her heart womb a seed. You may see that as a spark of light, or a seed, or an energy frequency, however it appears to you, and trusting your own senses. It may be that you see, it may be that you know, or you sense, you feel, trusting how you perceive and navigate energy, but allowing yourself to receive the seed, allowing the seed to travel up your root system, the central tap root, from the core of the earth, this luminescent seed rising up, reaching your yoni gate, rising up into your sacred womb space, into the rich, warm, tender, loving darkness of your womb. And as the seed is received here, noticing how this space is the physical manifestation of Mother's love in you. Unconditional love, nurturance, abundance, sustenance, support, protection, safety, love, 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 cherishing, sweet, sweet love. Allowing this frequency to envelop the seed, as from the rich darkness you receive your own soul seed. It may spring from the planetary seed. It may be a separate seed, trusting whatever is real for you in this time of new beginnings, this new lunar cycle, this new galactic cycle, this potent planetary times. What, beloved sister, is wanting to be planted in your own womb? What is wanting to be nourished, germinated, birthed through you in the time to come? And allowing this to unfold for you from this deep, empty stillness, without grasping or needing to know or understand, trusting this process that is so primordial to our feminine design. We receive the new in the dark, often without understanding or fully knowing what it is that is being gestated through us. That conscious knowing is not a requirement. We are tapping into a deeper design that knows how to receive from the mystery, and in the dark, nurture, keep safe, grow, tend, and when the time is right, birth into the world. So feeling this seed or seeds that are here now within your beautiful, sacred womb space. Allowing them to transmit through color, frequency, feeling, images, knowing what they hold for you and the whole, if it is wisdom for you to know at this time. So practicing being empty and receiving, allowing, without needing to know, being with what is here. I am the seed of I am the seed of. I am the seed of. And as we hold these seeds, I invite you now to feel once again this place where you're deeply anchored into Pachamama Mama Gaia, her womb, her heart, pulsing in molten red lifeblood love, allowing yourself to fully receive her love, her nurturance, her support. This red river of love and life that begins to flow up your root system and into your womb, igniting the remembrance there that there is nothing you need to do to receive from her. It's simply allow. Remembering this primordial knowing that just like a baby in the mother's womb needs to nothing or be nothing in particular to receive the deep love, nurturance, and protection of the mother. So it is with you, beloved sister. So it is with all of us. So it is with all of life on Gaia. So it is with all life in our cosmos. Mother's love is abundant. Her nurturance is rich and ever flowing and limitless. Allowing ourselves to fully receive the richness, the love, the devotion that is here. Allowing Mother to cherish us as a mother cherishes her child, simply for being. Receiving that rich red light into your womb, nurturing the seeds, rich red blood, just like the blood that receives the newborn child, forms the placenta and nurtures life until birth, allowing this place of mother's love and your own love, your red river, merging with hers to support these seeds, to nourish these seeds. Allowing yourself to let go of needing to control the process, trusting that the womb and the blood, that the mother in you, the mother sustaining you and holding you, know exactly what to do. Just like a pregnant mother doesn't plan how she gestates a child. It is an organic, primordial body wisdom. Surrendering these seeds to this wisdom within your own feminine being, that they will continue to grow and be nourished and protected. And then allowing this flood of life blood, of unconditional love of the mother, of abundant nurturance and support to flood the rest of your being. Embracing every cell, every organ, every atom in this rich, loving, tender frequency of mother, where every part of you is deeply, tenderly embraced, unconditionally. Where all the parts of you that are thirsty, or hungry, or lonely, or shut down are nourished, where every part of you can receive exactly what you need. For that is Mother's deepest desire. Allowing this frequency to embrace you into wholeness, into oneness. Until this tender, rich love is flowing and overflowing within you, rising up through your crown, becoming a fountain of this love, this love, this light pouring out of your palms, flowing out of your chakras, out of your pores, drinking so deeply of this rich frequency that you are literally overflowing in all directions. And if you're not there yet, continue to drink, continue to allow yourself to be filled for as long as you need. For as a temple of blood mysteries, we hold the wisdom, the remembrance that Mother is she who holds and is held. Where no matter what you are gestating or birthing, or what part of the cycle of life, death, rebirth you are in, you are always held, always abundantly nurtured, supported, loved. We remember this place that we are home, home we've never truly left. And now finally, beloveds, allowing your crown to receive, fully unfurled now, to receive the light codes from above, from the new moon in Leo, from the sun in Leo, from Sirius, dog star, and her connection to Isis, Mother, receiving from the central sun and from the cosmic Mother, receiving from galactic Mother, receiving through this opened lion's gate all the beauty, grace, and gifts that are streaming down to bless us and all life. Becoming that empty, though fully nourished chalice once again to receive these streams of light, of codes, of remembrance and transmission that are being held within your own womb. Allowing your womb and the seeds that are here to receive and be nourished by this transmission from the above. Receiving the seed that is coming from the above into the richness of your own womb. And you may experience a third seed here being received. Trusting whatever is real for you in this moment. Receiving. Opening your awareness to the messages coming from the above, the transmissions of consciousness that are wanting to make their way into our physical realm. igniting us into the remembrance that as women, this is what we do. We receive from the formless that we may birth into form, birthing children, birthing dreams, birthing visions, birthing new states of consciousness, birthing new realities, new myths onto our planet through our body, through our embodied living, through our life. So holding these seeds and any transmission that you are receiving from them, individually or as a whole, feeling the nourishment from Mother below, the blessing from Mother above, the wisdom of the feminine within you and the protection of the masculine within you. And in deep devotion, allowing what you have received in your womb in this potent moment to ripple out like a starburst of light through the dream field of Gaia, through her body of life. Individually and collectively, seeding, amplifying these seeds for the benefit of one and all in devotion to life and love. And very gently bringing a hand to your heart, a hand to your womb. Coming back into your body, feeling your sits bones and your perineum upon matter, mother once again. Allowing light into your eyes. And coming back into our circle to share. To remember together how it is that we co-create with the mystery, how we weave our wombs together in benefit of one and all. And as you are ready, as you find your way back, I would love to hear what it is that you are gestating this cycle, what it is you are aware of from gathering in this ancient, new, feminine way. Just taking a moment, I know this is deep. This is the way of the Blood Mysteries Temple. It is a deep dive into the mystery, into the dark, remembering how this lives within us and how we have direct access to so much wisdom, magic, and power within our own bodies. And the potency of coming together in this way. So I invite you, loves, to share in the chat, maybe, or live if that is your joy. If there's anyone that wishes to share their seeds or what they are aware of in this moment. Okay. Daisy, love, will you handle this part? Yeah.
Yes. I'll share if no one else ready to share yet. Yeah. I instantly felt like there's the golden light, look like a dragon, but also felt like phoenix, but also felt like an eagle. It's hard to, I saw that download comes like strongly into here. And I saw you, it was behind you, and you were like holding a space in a container, and then there's a baby in front of you. It's like you're behind, you're holding the future generation and represent as a baby. And then the baby is guarding the earth. The earth look like a ball of water. Like bless, like the baby is blessing the earth, and you are like guarding the baby. And behind you, there's the golden energy of the dragon phoenix eagle like
Love
energy.
that. Dragon Phoenix Eagle. That's perfect. Oh, witnessing that rich, potent transmission. Thank you, sister, for that. Let me ding. Where my dingers dinging to that transmission, receiving it into our collective chalice for nurturance. Thank you, love.
Thank you so much.
Ah, and I see that Brandy Barber shares, I am aware of the seeds of self love and nurturing my womb. Oh, what beautiful seeds. Witnessing you, Brandy, receiving these potent seeds of self love and nurturing our wombs. May this be gestated and birthed through you for one and all beings. Maria says, I saw a brown horse and a woman Amazon warrior and defender of the ones who were suppressed for so long. Then I saw the victims of evil rising into their higher expression. Then I became a lion, golden lion, and we were connected with the stars and Isis and Sekhmet and the feline race that send codes to seed on earth again. Then a lion with wings, beautiful. And as these things are shared, I just want us to feel this is also part of how we work. It's beyond the mind, it's through our feeling navigation from our deeper senses, connecting to the archetypal and energetic transmissions that are coming through symbol and imagery and feeling, and the multi layers that are present with that. So, receiving that as medicine. Thank you, Maria. For these seeds. Just checking one last time if there is anyone else. Oh, Maria. Yes, you got perfect. Unmute yourself, love.
I received so much in that. Uh, just in brief, what I received was a placenta. I've been cultivating a pearl of consciousness in my dantian. And then I received a placenta. And I was like, oh my goodness, I've been growing this chi baby, but I've been so focused on the baby and the placenta, is just like thick, fat, healthy, gorgeous protector, guardian placenta. And at first it was just in the front of my abdomen, and I just was sensing and feeling, and then it went back covering my kidneys, like the guardian protector of your kidney chi. And it felt really good. And then the pearl, it like got settled in, and my little pearl sat on top of it. And then I had a lot of stories that they're memories of stories like in chi. I thought I've had these chi miscarriages. I know it sounds strange, but I've had miscarriages, spiritual miscarriages, and I thought they were miscarriages. And then one of them was a lion tiger, and I thought it was a miscarriage, but that lion that tiger, lion, tiger came and looked at me. He was like, I'm not gone. And then I had a red dahlia bloom. That was another, I thought, spiritual miscarriage, and she popped up really big. And then another one, still gestating within me, but it's like this other one showed up. So the things that I thought were gone, were dead and lifeless, were seeds. So the seeds of seeds that I've planted before are revealing themselves again. There's so much more, but I'm going to let that be. I'm going to let that be. And then just the opening up of that blood, opening up of such, open to your consciousness, nourishment. Oh, and the nourishing down in the roots, like we're, many of us have sat in temples, so we go to our roots a lot, but it felt so a reminder of, sometimes you wonder, like, what am I doing here? Da, 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 da. But it's like you're so integral. Your place is integral. So felt like I was remembering that for myself, but also remembering that for others. Like, our place is integral. Your roots matter. Like, where you are, it really matters. So a lot of my vision was my own personal thing, but a lot of it was also collecting part, just holding space for others within the vision.
Witnessing you, Maria, and that, just the richness and the fullness of that, and the magic that happens when we fully open ourselves to the mother and to being nourished. Magic naturally and organically unfolds, and this is at the heart of our Blood Mysteries Temple, is simply cultivating this connection, because by allowing that in, right? Just like what you were saying about the placenta and the baby, the hyper focus on the baby. Yeah, but if you allow the placenta to be rich and fat and healthy, then everything else just naturally happens, right? So just really, really honoring this deep place of receiving and remembering, and just the magic and richness that is coming through you, and loving this place of receiving how these what you thought were miscarriages are living gifts within you, right? And we're just waiting for the moment to be kind of nourished again and awakened, so that they could be in communication with you once again. So really honoring each one of those beautiful babies and gifts that you hold, and how they continue to be with you, right? In such a beautiful way. Oh, bowing to you, sister.
Thank you.
Thank you for that rich, rich share. Dinging to you, love. I think our other Maria says, and at the end of my meditation, a white bird came, peace and divinity back here. Beautiful. Thank you for receiving and seeding peace and divinity in body and on the earth once again. Beautiful. All right. Last check before we transition. Again, is there anyone else that wants to weave their seeds and be received and witnessed and held? And part of this pre-event is really giving you a direct experience of what it is to work in the blood mysteries and in the blood mysteries temple. And one of the pillars within our temple is the pillar of intimacy, right? Where each one of you is deeply received, and there is space to fully be seen and received and cherished in not only the love that you are, but the wisdom and the gifts that flow through you. So just checking if there's anyone else that wishes to be witnessed and held in their seats. Okay, it seems that we are complete. Well, what other part that I wanted to share is that what we just did here is a fractal of what the temple does for our Lionsgate event every year. So our Blood Mysteries Temple was birthed at the Lionsgate portal. And every year, right, there is this process of emptying and deeply listening, right, into the mystery, into Mother, to the codes, the myth, the new states of consciousness that are wanting to be birthed in this remembrance of, as sacred women, this is our role. We are designed to receive the formless and give it form, right? Sometimes that looks like physical children, but there are so many other variations of this, right? And at a core, in terms of our planetary service, this is what we're here to do, right? To be nourished by Gaia, receiving the seeds that are within her, receiving the seeds that are coming from the above and the nourishment that comes from the above, and allowing that to take form within us so that we may reweave, reshape, right, the reality on our beloved planet. We are here to birth new states of consciousness. And this is done in a, like we just did, right? This is just a kind of like a glimpse of what this process is. So this year, and I'm so excited because this year, because our temple has grown and we have initiates now that are deeply embedded into the mystery, that have opened their inner gateways and have been working deeply in this field, this year we were able to do this process as a temple where we gathered to create a collective chalice to deeply listen and receive what it is that is wanting to be birthed on the planet right now through the birthing portal of the Lion's Gate. And what has become very, very clear, and there's a beautiful synchronicity with the stars as well that came after, of course, right, is that we're at a point collectively, right, where where we are being invited and strongly called to release the wounding of the past, right? To create the space necessary to birth the new myth, the ancient new myth of Grail Guardian and Grail Keeper as one. So in the blood mysteries, working with the Holy Grail, right? Which is in one of its fractals of realities, our womb space, right? The chalice of our womb and the sacred waters of life that she holds in all seasons of life. And I want to make this very abundantly clear. Our blood mysteries and the blood mysteries temple is our birthright as women. It is how we connect into the frequency of Mother and the mystery through our own body. And it is available to us through the fullness of our life. How we dive in and how we work in different seasons, shifts and changes, like just like everything in our life changes as we weave through our seasons, but it is available and open and potent and has unique gifts at each season. Okay, so at this point, right, we have in if you've been kind of visiting our field and our events, you've seen me talk about the Grail, the mystery of our womb, the potency of our blood, the physical and energetic magic that is held there. The Grail has been awakened, right? Now we are at a point, because of the work we've been doing through these years, where we are being asked to remember the role of the Grail Keeper, the feminine facet that understands, communes, and works with the Grail and her holy waters to make that mystery available to her and to all those who seek those gifts, right? And the Grail Guardian, who is that protective, devoted, loving frequency, often felt as the divine masculine, that is in devotion to life and love, guarding, keeping, supporting Grail Keeper and the Grail so that they can be in purity and in the safety and have everything they need to bring that sacred work into the world. That benefits, the divine masculine as well. Right? So we are at this place where the divine feminine has been rising and we have more of an awareness of what she is, who she is, right? We see her in the world. And as she is risen, that desire for the divine masculine has also been rising, right? And just like 10 years ago, we thought of the divine feminine and we liked the idea, but we weren't quite sure what it was, right? For a long time now, also with the divine masculine, has been that same thing. It's this, it's like, I know we don't want the toxic masculine, we want the divine masculine, but we can't find it on the 3D yet, right? The divine masculine, we see glimpses of the divine masculine, right? But the fullness of what that is hasn't landed on the planet yet. And this is our role as women, right? Of being able to tap into these energetic blueprints that are now ready to be brought through. And we anchor them through our body first. So this is going to be the work through that week of the Lion's Gate, is receiving the energetic blueprint of the Grail Keeper and the Grail Guardian and their role in allowing you the deeper access into the Grail and her mystery. Right? And how we can anchor that into our physical body to create a new reality within you first, right? Because what happens naturally and organically is as you anchor that in your cells and start to live from this new myth, right? Where we've released the myth, the story, and all the wounding from the masculine, right? And we begin to live from the reality of a divine masculine and a divine feminine that work as one in harmony and devotion of life and love. So that is the invitation, loves. This is what we're going to be doing throughout that week, right? And this is what I'm inviting you into. And the more of us that are here, again, it's so important for the planetary field, because this is how we create that ripple. The whole point of gathering at the Lion's Gate, that we have this tremendous support, galactic, planetary, solar support, right? And as we come together, we create this powerful, coherent chalice to receive all that and anchor it into form. And as each one of you pass that Lion's Gate, decide to live from there, that changes the reality of our planet. So that is the invitation, love. This is what we'll be doing. And we will be having on the 8/8, the activation will be diving into the Lion's Gate at its peak, receiving this blueprint of Grail Keeper and Grail Guardian as one, and exploring a little more of who they are and their myth and why it's important to bring them forth. Right? And then throughout that week, that you'll be receiving different ways of deepening so that we can do that process. Because the first thing, just like we did today, we need to be able to fully anchor that new myth and this new blueprint. We need to create space within our bodies. And I know that this is true for all of you. We hold so much wounding from the patriarchy, wounding of the masculine and wounding of the feminine, that needs to be released in love so that a new reality can take place. So there will be a release ritual, right, and space to do individually and collectively. We will have embodiment practice so that you can anchor these frequencies into your body. You will have a deepening journal so that you can do the deep work to fully enter this gateway. And then we'll be closing on Friday, the 12th, to come together to weave what's coming through all of us in this powerful gateway, right? To anchor that Grail Guardian, Keeper, and the Grail within us, and to open the gates of the Blood Mysteries Temple once again, because this is another part of why this time is exciting for us as a temple, is that we open our gates to new sisters to step in, for all sisters that are feeling the call to dive deeper into the womb, the magic of their blood, of the feminine mysteries as is held by this temple. This is the time to dive deeper and to be received again by this intimate, beautiful, loving temple that we hold together. And you'll be hearing more about that as well, in terms of like all the whole journey that is now available, where before it was only this dive into your menstrual magic and the blood mysteries as a practice. Now we have womb priestess path that we can follow, where we are doing deep and beautiful work collectively. So that is what I wanted to share with you and invite you in today. I'm hoping that you will be excited to join us for the Lion's Gate, for there is deep, deep magic afoot as the energies rise. And I'd love to open up for any questions that may be arising about the Lion's Gate event, about the Blood Mysteries Temple, or about the Feminine Mysteries, or anything that we've touched upon today. This space is for you, loves, that I may receive your questions, your heart, your comments.
Hi, Catalina.
Hey, Lillian, let me spotlight you. There you are.
I'm actually very busy drawing, so I'm listening. But I have anchor code for you if you would like to receive that.
You have I'm sorry, what?
I have a code for you
Ooh.
that I receive for meditations.
Mhm.
And until now that you just complete what your transmission, I also complete my drawing. So divine timing.
Beautiful. Yes, please share.
Sure. Let me unblur myself, then I can share it. All right. I'm not, hang on, speaker view. Okay.
That is beautiful.
So I can explain a little bit. This is what I saw. So what I saw from your meditation is I saw a lot of diamond. The diamond going into the yoni and flushing up, and these petals open up as the divine feminine, and the divine masculine is supporting as well, as gently and listening and expand it out. And then when they dance together, that's the diamond there with the pink.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the golden ray. It's like dancing together. So all of that is growing like it's like about like a rosebud, but this is like it just branch out. So yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful.
So it looked like creating a union, the inner union, feminine and the masculine, and it continue. So all of that.
Receiving that, and as you share the image and your words, I am seeing it and feeling it within my own body, and the brilliance that cannot be conveyed in paper and words, but I am feeling the brilliance of the diamonds and of the dancing golden light, and this beautiful place of union of the divine masculine and feminine, how they support each other, and like you say, how it continues, right? It happens here, and then it practices, and it continues, and it continues, and it spills out in such beauty. Thank you for receiving that so coherently and sharing so beautifully, Lillian.
Thank you.
Singing to you, love, and that beautiful transmission of sacred union.
Thank you.
Yeah, Maria says sacred cosmic alchemy. Yes, sacred cosmic alchemy. Beautiful. So are there any other questions, Maria? I think I saw Maria's hand out. Yep. Go ahead, Maria. I think you have to unmute yourself, love.
So I do have a practical question. I realized I hear on when you're doing your invitation, you're saying it's 5 days, starting on 8/8, and then ending on Friday. So are there two events, 8/8, and then Friday, or are there 5 events?
So there is a live call on Monday and a live call on Friday opening. On Tuesday, you receive a womb journal that will accompany the whole process from the journaling of the first event all the way through Friday. On Wednesday, you receive a water and fire ritual to help release the old and consecrate your vessel that you may fully receive the new. On Thursday, you receive an embodiment practice to fully anchor in a felt sense the energies of the Grail Keeper and Grail Guardian and the Grail within you, your own body. On Friday, we have our closing ceremony, right? And the other thing that will be happening that will be really beautiful, that is that this will happen over the weekend, but everything that is done and shared, because our and we'll be having a live we'll be having invitations to weave your moon blood or transfigured wine for our wise women throughout everything, right? From the second, from in the release ritual, in the embodiment practice, and you're especially invited to bring something for the closing ceremony, for we'll be doing that and an offering into the earth as a temple. And then all that we've done together, we have a focalizing sister that will take everything that has been released and named and offered collectively into a bonfire at the beach, so that everything that we've worked together can actually be brought into form as well. So it's 5 days. Part of it is live, part of it you can do in your own home at your own rhythm through those days. You're invited to set aside some time each day to do that, maybe 30 minutes to journal, to do the ritual, to do the embodiment practice, and then come to the ceremonies. The ceremonies, set aside time. We should be probably going to be 2 hours, right? We want to dive deep. We want to fully take advantage of the time we have together to make some really potent magic together, right? So that's what's happening. And then we'll be opening the gates to the Blood Mysteries Temple. And then the following week, we'll be having some council meetings and more sharings around like the deeper part of the temple for anyone that's called to explore a little deeper and come closer. So does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. It does. And I have every intention of being there on 8/8, but then I'm realizing that's my son's college orientation. So I'm going to be not with you live, even though I had intention. I'm going to be doing a orientation at the university, but I'll be with you throughout the journey. And then you mentioned something about moon blood and weaving your moon blood in. It's just that I just started my moon blood now, and so by the time you're in that journey, I won't be doing my moon blood. Is there anything specific now
Yeah, so
that?
for any sisters that are mooning still, if you are, bleeding, you can collect and store your moon blood. Okay, so that's a possibility. I would strongly encourage you to do that and just stick it in the fridge and keep it until our time, right?
Okay.
If not, and if anybody has questions about that, I mean, I can share. It's basically very, very simple. Do you use a moon cup or?
Well, I bleed so lightly. I collect it on a cloth, and then I have to rinse the cloth, and then I have this beautiful blood bowl, and then I water my plants and do whatever.
So however it is that you do it, if like I said, that you can probably, if you're doing it from in that fashion, what I would recommend is you freeze it and then just frost it, just because the more, with more water content, it's easier for that to decompose in contact with the air over time. Right? So where moon blood directly collected from a moon cup will last a month in the fridge, when it's mixed with water, the shelf life for the reality of that, it decreases, because again, it's very, very rich substance. So it will attract beings that will eat it and decompose it. And we want the magic to be pure and not smelly.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's just the reality of it. Right?
Yeah.
So for anyone that is soaking, cotton pads or anything like that, or if I would encourage you to just freeze it and then just defrost it before our time together. If you're collecting directly from a moon cup, just put it in an airtight container and stick it in the fridge. It'll last at least a month. If you are collecting it because you're sitting and you don't, you can, some women can feel it just coming out and they just sit on a bowl or a container. If you're doing it that way, you can also stick in the fridge and maybe add like a drop or two of a good quality essential oil just to preserve it, as there is more possible contamination with outside bacteria with that method. Whatever way. And for women that just, it's not their time, they haven't, or wise women, you can just set aside some wine or beet juice, whatever you're called to, as a representation of your blood. And we will be going over how to transfigure that into blood so that you can weave it into your rituals. And again, this is optional, but this is part of what's exciting about this time, is that we actually get to practice blood magic together. right? We actually get to practice our blood mysteries as a sisterhood, live or collectively in ritual, as we did in ancient times. Like, this is, I don't know any other space where this is happening at this level. And we're the potency that we have sisters from all over the world anchoring this in different places. So so strongly encouraged, but in no way a requirement. At the heart of this temple is unity and inclusivity. So whatever is in your wisdom and joy, you are welcome, right? And honored and respected in the sovereignty of your being. So thank you for bringing that up, love. That's a great, great question. Thank you, love. Okay, and Daisy.
Oh, I just have something I want to add also, because I've been following you for 2 years, and it's so amazing when I start like collecting my own blood and also adding essential oil. Because it's like so potently connecting with me, and also because during the moon time, our emotional body is so sensual and can feel and sense. And actually, when I add essential oil to my own blood, I can feel I'm dancing in the field. The essence of the essential oil like merging into oneness with my higher self. I'm like, I remember I was putting essential oil called a deep blue from doTERRA, and then I was feeling I'm dancing into oneness with that deep blue field, and I'm becoming the blue bird. And it's just quite remarkable. Each time I'm putting into different essential oil, mixing with my own blood, I can feel that dynamic dance. It's like more potent. I realize that I'm not just this 3D body, I'm quantum and I'm cosmic, and I'm oneness with everything.
Oh, witnessing, and thank you for sharing that experience. And this is part of the magic of our blood rites, right? Is that our moon blood has this capacity to unify, right? It's one of its core frequencies, and it creates the primordial bonds of unity, right? Our strongest connection, right? So when we mix our moon blood with something else, that's what you're creating. You're creating a deep bond between your being and whatever it is coming into contact with, be it that you're offering it into the earth and you're bonding with that land, or offering it into the water and bonding with that body of water, or like you were saying with the essential oils, when your gateways are open and you can really open into what's actually happening. It's your essence, dancing with the essence of that flower or that plant, right? So there is an alchemy that happens, and that through the moon blood is physically felt. Like, that union is amplified in a way that it's, and one of the things I love about this and why I'm so passionate about this lineage is that it gives you a direct experience that is inescapable, right? It's like, it's there. You can't explain it away. You are having a experience of unity. You are having this full on journey that is powerful and beautiful. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes,
Daisy, love. And I'm going to say Daisy is one of our initiates within the Blood Mysteries Temple, and she will be sharing on that first Lionsgate Day. So that's another thing that I'm excited about. We will have offerings from other sisters sharing their own magic through the temple. So looking forward to Daisy sharing all her wisdom and magic and communications with the cosmos, right? At this Lionsgate portal. So ding to you, and Daisy, love.
thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to weaving the magic with you together.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Beautiful. Okay, so just checking in, loves. Are there any other questions, comments, inspirations that wish to be witnessed, shared, or asked as we prepare to complete for today? And if you are watching this as a replay, joining us through the ethers, feel free to comment or message me with any of your questions. And I'd love to receive all your seeds and experiences. Because again, each one of you holds magic, and your sharing what's coming through you actually nurtures and empowers the whole in a beautiful way. So be generous, loves, with your own womb magic, because it is needed, valued, and appreciated. Anything else? Last check. Last check. Going once. Going twice. Daisy, love. Go ahead.
Like I felt like I know you so long, but I never asked you, what inspired you to open the Blood Mystery Temple?
Okay, so this is my origin story. This is actually part of the home study journey. I tell my whole story, but in quintessence, let's just say that I came upon a time, it was after completing my first year in Enter the Mystery and the Priestess Path, and it was between year 1 and year 2, that, you know, that empty void of space where all my life had collapsed, and I was in the dark and follow times, trying to just, with that question of like, why am I here? What am I doing? Right. And what happened was that this mother is so curious. Something came across my field, right? It was like a test, right? And it was mentioning like moon blood and your relationship to moon blood. And my relationship to my moon blood at that point was fine. Like I thought I loved my moon time and I was in harmony with her, and I loved that I cycled. And I was like, okay, I got this. Like this is my jam. And also as a labor and delivery room nurse and nurse midwife, I was like, I also, like, from the biological perspective, I thought like I know everything I need to know in this realm, right? And there was this one question, it was like a multiple choice that said, like my relationship with my moon time, like I hate it, it's whatever, it's an inconvenience, but I'm fine with it, or like I love it and I cycle. And the last one was like, I love it, I drink my own blood. And I'm like, wait, what? And I remember in that moment was like, first I laughed it off. Like that was my knee-jerk reaction. Oh, this is like a joke. And then it was like, wait, do people actually do that? And again, the nurse in me was like, would there be a benefit to that? Right. And that's when I realized that I didn't know everything I thought I knew, right? And I began to investigate, okay, so what's in moon blood? And I realized there's no studies, right? Now there's more. In that time, there were no studies of the composition of moon blood, right? And I began to have these remembrances of all these stories, all these different stories I'd heard throughout my life, of the Holy Grail, of the Fountain of Eternal Youth, of the Fountain of Life, the stories of the Fountain of Life at the center of the earth that floods, right? All these, the stories of Tantra I'd heard of rites. And I was called to deeply investigate, well, is this true, right? And I couldn't find anything. I quickly searched and I said, there's nothing out there. And I decided to become a mystical scientist. Like, okay, I need to find this out. Clearly, there's something here. There's something magical. There's something powerful. And this is a void in knowledge on the planet in this moment. So I decided to just dive right in and explore it for myself. So I collected my moon blood for the first time. I drank it for the first time and was blown away by the direct experience of it. And that's how it all started. And from that came all the remembrances and the downloads of what was past, but more importantly, the core thread of the blood mysteries as a lineage and as a temple, and how it's wanting to be rebirthed into modern day times. Because our blood mysteries has been on the planet for a very long time. And it's not just planetary, it is a lineage that crosses through the galaxy and the cosmos, right? It's this connection to that red river of love and life, right? That gives birth to all, and our access to her through our bodies. That's our gift as women, right? So that's how it started. And then it was a couple of years of receiving the downloads, deeply communing, exploring all the different practices. Okay, so what happens if I offer to the earth? What happens if I paint my body? What happens if I, anoint my drum or my rattle with my blood, and like doing a full journal. Like that's my mystical scientist. It's like, okay, like this is what I did, like this is what happened, this is what I experienced. And then the sharing with other sisters, a small group of sisters, to start seeing what the collective experience was. Was this just like something that happened to me, or did we all have, was there like a baseline experience that transcended, right? And that's how the temple came together eventually, when all that research was done, and it was like, yeah, this is real, and these women are having tremendous, amazing experiences, just like you were with your moon blood and the essential oils, right? Like, this is real, this is powerful, this is beyond explanation, like the things that were happening not only to me but to the sisters that were in this type group of like our focus group, right? I was like, no, this needs to be shared with the world, because again, it's such powerful magic. It brings so many deep, beautiful benefits. So that's the origin story. That's how it started, and I haven't been able to leave that because it is so magical and beautiful. Thank you for asking, love.
Thank you so much. I can feeling in the richness of our medicine women wisdom just coming pouring through as we're tapping into our own blood mystery.
Yeah, well, this is part of what comes at we explore in the home study journey, which is our foundational course. It's like all the myths and stories, right? So that we can remember how it's been, and then weave that into how it's wanting to be practiced and rebirthed now, right? And one of the things that we touch upon is how, again, the first shamanic journeys were menstrual journeys, where as women, we would gather, and because of the neuropeptides that are in the moon blood, right, that alter our consciousness, those were the cosmic journeys that were the original shamanic journeys, and then, took other forms. But the original shamanic journey, the original medicine women, were women because they bled. That was the reason they were medicine women.
Yeah, I learned that too in ancient China's like the traditional Chinese medicine lineage. It's all learned from the shaman women, and all actually that's the definition of the original word in Chinese. Shaman is a shaman woman, and the men who learned those medicine wisdom are called the apprentice to the shaman woman.
Love that. Thank you for sharing that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so just honoring the inner medicine women in each one of us and our remembrance of that, right? And that's also one of the beautiful things we do in the temple, is that begin to open those gateways through our lineages, right? To tap into all the medicine women that came before us and how they flow through us. Maria says, yes, shamanic journey, potent codes and visions come to me while I am having my menstruation. Beautiful. And that is what happens during our moon time. We literally step through the veils, and that's part of why there is that sense of altered consciousness during that time. And our moon blood, there are biochemicals within menstruation that assist in that state of consciousness, that allows us to slip into the void, to be in this dreaming, right? So that we can receive the new that will be seeded through our feminine cycle, right? So let's see. After a year working with you and actively working with my menstrual blood, yeah, you are receiving potent codes. Yes. Yeah, so there is, this is part of the beauty of this, is once you tap in and you just allow that to begin to flow, allow us to remember organically, the remembrance come, the visions come, the connection come. It's not something you work at, right? It's simply by, just like Maria with your vision, right? Just simply connecting with that current, allows for visions, for unfolding, for new life, for like all these things to just happen within you. And we begin to shift from this paradigm of the work, hustle, strive, right, into this place where we can just flow in mother's love, right? Where we don't have to plan the events because if we can just lean back into her, magically, like we end up scheduling on a new moon in Leo, right? And Daisy's been with me for a long time, and it always happens that, you know, there's a connection to the galactic Mayan calendar, or there's a connection to the moon. For the big events, even though I don't consciously like go into my calendar and figure where things are, it always ends up, you know, landing exactly where it needs to be. And that's part of the deeper benefits of this lineage, is that you're tapping into a new way of living and being on the planet that is from this place of deep support, of grace, of ease, of the organic, the natural, which doesn't mean there isn't, you know, challenge or initiation, right? But it's not something you're working at. It's something that's unfolding, right? So it's a completely different experience. And that is the natural way for our feminine being to work. So it feels different, right? There's and there's a place for the masculine way, you know, sitting and meditating and focusing. There's a place for all of that. Yet as women, this is what comes most naturally to us, to tap into this way of unfolding in the mystery. Lillian says, Catalina, thank you for the rich experience. I will have to go for another meeting. Thank you so much. Daisy, thanks for sharing your experience. Can't wait to hear from you more. And bye for now. Beautifully. Okay, so I am feeling this call to wrap up. So last invitation, are there any or more questions that, pressing questions to be answered before we complete for today? Or do we feel complete? Just last check, making.
I want to say thank you so much for bringing the wisdom forward, and thank you for just sharing your deep, rich wisdom, and just share that, bring us together, and we tap into our inner wisdom and inner mystery together.
Thank you, Daisy, for presenting that, for your beautiful words of reflection and receiving. And I am just so grateful again for each one of you sisters for being here, because we have this because we've come together, right? The temple exists because of you, Daisy, because of all the sisters that have stepped in and have become pillars within the temple and are anchoring this wisdom in the world. So just really presencing every sister within our Blood Mysteries Temple, especially in deep gratitude to all our pillars, to all our womb priestesses, holding this through their being, bowing to each one of you sisters that are here now, remembering with us, sharing your wombs and your wisdom and your remembrance, that we may awaken together to the primordial magic we hold. Bowing to the sisters that will be joining us through the replays. Thank you, thank you, thank you again for your presence and your magic. This is something we do together. This is the feminine way, right? It is not for one to do. It is for all of us to come together and bring our womb threads, that we may weave this beautiful new tapestry, right, of unity and love and peace and harmony onto the earth. Part of the feminine way is the bringing of heaven to earth, right? Bringing that frequency to our everyday lives until all of earth is transformed, until she is rebirthed into this higher vibrational octave, right? So thank you for your role in that. And I am hoping to see you all at the Lionsgate event, and that we may go even deeper through this awakening of the Grail Keeper, the Grail Guardian, and the Holy Grail within you. So all my love, many blessings, happy moon times. Please come to our Fascinating Feminine Flow to share your seeds, your experiences, your questions, your excitement. And I will hope to see you all on 8/8. Much love. Bowing to you all and hoping to see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you all so much.